The sun hung high over Willow Creek, casting a warm glow on my silver Porsche 911, parked proudly in the driveway. I just settled onto my porch with a steaming mug of coffee, ready to soak in the quiet of a Saturday afternoon, when I saw Her Margaret Hensley, the HOA president with a perm that screamed, "I need to speak to your manager." She was hunched over my car, jabbing a coat hanger into the driver's side window, like she was auditioning for a heist movie. My heart skipped a beat. Was this really happening? Right in front of my house, in broad daylight? "Hey, what are you doing to my car?" I called out, my voice steady but my pulse racing. Margaret spun around, her face twisted with a mix of fury and righteousness. "This car doesn't belong here, especially with someone like you," she shouted, while VYing the hanger like a scepter. "Old folks like you shouldn't be VYing sports cars. I'm taking it for the neighborhood's sake." I stood there, dumbfounded. At 68, after 30 years in the Navy and enough deployments to fill a book, I'd finally retired and bought my dream car, a sleek, silver Porsche I'd fantasized about since my first tour. And now, this woman, who didn't know me from Adam, was trying to repossess it because she thought I was too old? The nerve of her words stung, but what came next would unravel her world in ways she never saw coming. 3 months ago, I'd moved to Willow Creek, a tidy little community with manicured lawns and neighbors who seemed straight out of a feel-good movie. And Mrs. Alvarez from across the street dropped off homemade tamales my first week. The young couple next door, Jake and Emily, invited me to their backyard barbecue. Even Mr. Thompson, a fellow retiree, begged for a spin in the Porsche, grinning like a kid. But Margaret? Oh, she was a different story. From a moment I rolled into the neighborhood, she had it out for me in my car. It started the day I was washing the Porsche in my driveway. She strutted up, clipboard clutched like a shield, and smirked. "Quite the midlife crisis toy you've got there, Thomas," she said, her voice dripping with condescension. "Thanks," I shot back, keeping it polite. Though at my age, I'd say I'm well past midlife. Her smile vanished. "Don't you think something more fitting would be better? A nice sedan, maybe? We have standards here." I chuckled, wiping down the hood. "I checked the HOA rules, Miss Hensley. Nothing says I can't have this car." She stormed off, muttering about reviewing the bylaws. But that was just the beginning. Over the next few weeks, Margaret turned her disapproval into a full-blown crusade. She cruised by my house, snapping photos of the Porsche with her phone. She left fake notices on my windshield, claiming my car was disrupting community aesthetics. At the HOA meeting, she tried to push a new rule banning flashy vehicles in driveways. Thank God my neighbors weren't VYing it. Jake stood up and said, "Margaret, just because you're jealous of Thomas's Porsche doesn't mean we need new rules." The room burst into laughter, and Margaret's face turned beet red. But she wasn't one to back down. Her antics escalated. She spread rumors that I must be a crook to afford the car, even questioned my military service, suggesting I'd fake my rank. One night, I found a letter in my mailbox, printed on fake HOA letterhead, claiming my Porsche OLAT some non-existent Section 12.3. I spent hours combing through the bylaws, nothing. It was all lies. That's when I got serious. I installed security cameras around my driveway and started SAVYing every notice, email, and encounter. Call it gut feeling, but I knew I need proof someday. That Saturday, my phone rang while I was lost in a book. It was Mrs. Alvarez, her voice trembling. "Thomas, get outside now. That HOA woman's messing with your car. She's got a wire or something." I bolted out the door, and there she was, Margaret, feverishly working the coat hanger into my Porsche's window, her face flushed with manic determination. "Margaret, what the hell are you doing?" I yelled, storming toward her. She didn't flinch. "This car's stolen or bought with dirty money," she bellowed. "Someone your age has no business with a vehicle like this. I'm taking it back for the rightful owner." By now, neighbors were spilling onto the sidewalk, phones out, recording the chaos. "Margaret, this is my car. I have the paperwork. Step away before you wreck it," I said, my voice firm. Her eyes blazed with a wild mix of arrogance and desperation. "An old man like you should be VYing a Buick. This is a young person's car." You're making us look ridiculous. I couldn't believe it was she really trying to steal my car over her warped ideas about age. Step away, Margaret. I'm calling the cops. I warned, pulling out my phone. That's when she lost it. I'm the authority here, she screamed, now yanking at the door with surprising force. As HOA president, I can remove violations. This car's a violation. You're a violation. Mr. Thompson had already dialed 911, describing the scene to the dispatcher with disbelief. Neighbors shouted for her to stop. When the coat hanger failed, Margaret grabbed a rock from my garden bed and raised it toward the window. My stomach dropped to years of SAVYNGS, my dream car, about to be smashed by this lunatic. Jake stepped in, grabbing her wrist. Enough, Margaret. The police are coming. Chill out. She jerked away, turning on him. You're all enabling him. Can't you see? Old people shouldn't have cars like this. It's dangerous. I stayed calm. Show me the rule. Margaret, where does it say I can't own this car? Her face twisted with rage. It's common sense. This is a family neighborhood, not a racetrack for seniors. Sirens wailed in the distance, and Margaret froze, the rock still in her hand. For a second, I thought she'd bolt, but instead, she smoothed her blouse and stood tall, as if she hadn't just been caught red-handed. 2 police cruisers pulled up. I recognized one, Officer Alvarez, Mrs. Alvarez's son. The older officer scanned the scene. Margaret next to my car, the coat hanger on the ground, a crowd of neighbors gawking. What's going on? The older officer asked. Before I could speak, Margaret launched in her tale. I'm Margaret Hensley, HOA president. I was investigating a covenant violation when this man harassed me. I kept my cool. Officers, she was trying to break into my car with that hanger and was about to smash the window with that rock. I have witnesses and camera footage. The officers eyed the EVY Denke on the ground. Officer Alvarez turned to Margaret. Ma'am, were you trying to access this vehicle without permission? Her chin shot up. As HOA president, I have the right to address violations. This car doesn't belong here, especially with an elderly owner who could cause accidents. The older officer's eyebrows hit the sky. HOA presidents don't have legal authority to break into cars. Do you have a court order? Margaret faltered. Well, no, but ID, please, he cut her off. I grabbed my registration and license from the house. Officer Alvarez checked them and nodded. Everything's in order, Mr. Bennett. The car's yours. Margaret overheard and exploded. Impossible. He must have forged those. A man his age can't afford that car. The officers exchanged a look. Ma'am, lower your voice. You're making baseless accusations, the older one said. I laid it out. Officers, she's been harassing me since I moved in, fake notices, rumors, trying to ban my car through the HOA. I've got it all documented. Mrs. Alvarez chimed in. It's true. She's obsessed with this car. Other neighbors backed me up. The officers stepped aside, then returned with handcuffs. Ms. Hensley, you're under arrest for attempted vehicle theft, vandalism, and harassment, the older officer said. Margaret's face went white. What? I'm the HOA president. I was enforcing rules. As they cuffed her, she unraveled. This is outrageous. That car's ruining our property values. He's too old for it. Neighbors watched, stunned, as she was led to the cruiser, still ranting. The aftermath was swift. By evening, videos of her meltdown flooded the neighborhood's online group. By morning, local news ran headlines like, HOA president arrested for trying to steal retiree's Porsche. 3 days later, the HOA held an emergency meeting. Margaret, out on bail, showed up, expecting to keep her throne. Instead, she was voted out unanimously. The new president, a level-headed woman named Clara, took over. Margaret screamed as security dragged her out. That car's destroying our image. He's too old. The legal hammer dropped hard. Charged with attempted grand theft auto, criminal mischief, harassment, and age discrimination, Margaret took a plea deal. 3 years probation, a due lot, $5,000 fine, 200 hours of community care VYC with seniors, and damages for my car scratch door. The judge was blunt. Ms. Hensley, Any further harassment of Mr. Bennett, and you're in jail. She shot me a venomous glare as she left the courtroom, but I felt lighter than I had in months. My right to enjoy my hard-earned Porsche, my retirement, my life fight was mine again. So what do you think? Was Margaret just a busybody gone too far? Or did her obsession reveal something darker about entitlement and prejudice? Should HOAs have any say over personal property like cars? And let's get real, does age matter when it comes to DRI-VYing your dream car? Drop your thoughts below. Hit that like button if this story got your blood pumping, and subscribe for more wild tales. Let's keep the conversation going.